like in a dream. Maybe I'm starting to feel what true love can be. She is out of reach for someone like me. Baby, you keep pushing me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop putting things in my head. Baby, 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 stop tempting me. Is it a dream? Only time will tell. Maybe she's fooling us all to get what she wants. She's just playing games. Maybe that's what I want. She is out of reach for someone like me. Baby, you keep pushing me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop putting things in my head. Baby, 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 stop tempting me. Is it a dream? Only time will tell. I saw her take a glance at me. I think I got a chance now. Maybe she's all that I need. She's all that I want. Baby, I am who I am, and not what you want. She is out of reach for someone like me.
All right.
Baby, you keep pushing me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop putting things in my head. Baby, 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 stop tempting me.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
Baby, you keep pushing me, yeah, yeah, yeah. Stop putting things in my head. Oh, baby, 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 stop.
All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, one of the things that I've realized recently is that when we put certain words inside of our video, our titles, our hashtags, that the platforms are now automated in such a way that the people who want the messages don't necessarily see the messages. So the platforms are holding back the reach of this video. And that's why I have a text notification squad, because the monkey doesn't stop the show. Right? So listen, I thought it was really important that I come out tonight because I saw something that I thought was an emergency to speak about, because there's so much news coming out now and so much of it is entertaining, etc., that I didn't want this to get lost in the crowd. I saw this. I saw this on my timeline. This is being reported by Now This Impact. And when I looked through it, I was startled because they're showing how the Department of Homeland Security is using Nazi song phrases, Nazi propaganda. They're using white supremacist sentences and things that seem innocuous to us, the regular community. But the people who are meant to understand these dog whistles are, I guess, finding a sense of acknowledgement, camaraderie, etc. behind the scenes. This is really odd for me to be broadcasting this long. Oh, wow. So we have somebody who wants to get blocked, and that's fine. I'm more than happy to block you. There you go. And let me make sure that you're never able to have your stuff shown on my broadcast again. All right. Hey, welcome in. Is that Akima? My eyes are very tired right now, but nonetheless, welcome in. So, I saw something that was emergent, and I felt that I had to show this to you all tonight. I'm not going to be on for very long. I just wanted you to be able to see these messages so that we can be able to see this and know what is going on. Because, like I said, they're flooding the zone. And so many of us are not going to be able to catch everything. But I want to make sure that we're talking about the things that can help you make the decisions that you need to make for your life and where it is that you want to be and or go. All right. So I'm going to show you, let me get this a little bit larger on my screen. I'm going to show you what it is that I saw, and then hopefully you'll understand why I thought it was an emergency to make this video. Oh, here we go. All right. All right. Okay. So this says in this ad, DHS, so you'll see where it says, we'll have our home again. You see where it says that? And then it's so small I could barely see it. So let me make this large enough for me to be able to read it while we're on air. And it says, by God, we'll have, okay. So it says in this ad, DHS is referencing white nationalist anthem "By God We'll Have Our Home Again," a song heavily used by neo-Nazis. The lyrics lament demographic change and describe the desire to take the country back by blood or sweat. This is not the first time that DHS has espoused white nationalist themes in its ICE recruitment ads. So we're going to take a look at some of those. And you'll see the lyrics for the song says, "By God we'll have our home again. It wait, hold on. Let me just turn down this light real quick just so I can see because it's blaring in my eyes. By God we'll have our home." And I have used my eye drops, but I put them in too late that now the eye drops are soaking in. And so my vision hasn't had a chance to catch back up. Let me make this a little larger still. Child, listen, I'm in the throes of it right now. All right. It says, "By God We'll Have Our Home Again" is a white nationalist song to the tune of Rolling Down to Old Maui, a 19th century sea shanty. Its lyrics are most often credited to a U.S. fraternal neo-Nazi group. It was adapted as the official theme song of the Canadian Diagolian movement. Okay. All right. And so let's see what else we have here. I just wanted you all to see this so that you could be informed, because when we start thinking about whether or not we're going to stay here and fight, it seems as if the government has already been infiltrated by white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and Nazi sympathizers, and people who are aligned with that agenda and that movement, right? So here's some more imagery for you. And it says, a look at the ICE recruitment ads that draw from the white nationalist ideology. So on the right, you see some Hitler propaganda with the man and the swords. And on the left, you see the DHS ad, which says, oh, you know what? I have another screen behind this one, which is larger. Oh, do I? Oh, I was using the larger screen. Okay, my bad. My bad. So this is the one. This is the blurred one. This is the one that I should be looking at in regular size. This is the one I should be looking at in regular size. And this is the one that I should be looking at, blown up. So let me blow this up. Forgive me, I wasn't planning on going live today. So this is the best that I can do while I'm already live. And this says, the enemies are at the gate. And then this is the Nazi propaganda from 1936. You see the guy in the helmet with the sword and the shield, etc. Right? And then it says in October, DHS posted, the enemies are at the gates, along with the night imagery frequently used in Nazi propaganda to brand themselves as crusaders defending Europe from racial and ideological threats. And the thing is, why don't these people just go back to Europe? Like, if they want to be in a white ethno state, why don't they just go back to Europe? Like, go back to where your forefathers are from. Let the indigenous and brown people and people who want a melting pot stay here. Because it's like, and also I don't know how they're going to do it because Europe is right above Africa. So like if you look at the boot of Italy, and then you got Sicily where the people are quite brown, right? Brownish. And then you have Spain right across the water from Morocco, and it's like we're right above Latin America. This is indigenous land here. So it's like, why not go back to where your people are originate from? Like, this right here just doesn't make any sense to me. So next up, we have the next ad in the bunch where we have this old George Washington on the horse, right? Which is very akin to Ku Klux Klan. So let's just read it. A look at the ICE recruitment ads that draw from white nationalist ideology, defenders of the homeland. Let's see this larger. Defenders of the homeland. And then this is the one from the Knights of the KKK. And it says here, in October, DHS posted an image of George Washington on a horse along with the phrase, America for Americans, a slogan long associated with the Ku Klux Klan. Right? I just want you to pay attention. Just please, just pay attention. My admin is saying that the likes are not matching the views. We're in here, so come on and like the video. I know that there's a lot of new people here, so welcome to the page. In order for the video to be able to be favored by the algorithm, we have to like the video. I want you to make sure that you like my videos, that you comment on the video, even if you just comment a number, a smiley face, a thumbs up, whatever it is, just comment on the video so that the video can, because all these people care about now is the algorithm. And I broke down today and I was like, you know what, should I just pay to promote the videos? Because it's like these sites are hampering me. And when I clicked when I clicked for a paid promotion on YouTube, they were talking about it costs $200 for 1,000 views. I said, if you don't get all the way the hell out of here, I closed that page so damn quick. Please. Like, what do you, like, so what you do is so I have 200,000 subscribers on this page, and welcome to all the new people that has brought me up to 215,000 subscribers. So instead of pushing my content to the people who have subscribed who want it, they're holding back the views to now force content creators to pay for advertisement. And then the advertisement is $200 for 1,000. I was like, if you don't get the hell out of my damn face. And it was like, it was 500 to 1,000 views. So I was like, I'm paying almost a what, 50 cents a view, $1 a view. I said, no, they can't do this to me. You're not getting notifications. Are you on the text notification squad? I don't know what to say. If you're on the text notification squad, you need to contact me because each one of those texts that go out costs money. So you need to let me know if you're not getting it, right? So nonetheless, so this So this is some more of the propaganda. Please like the video. Admin, how many likes do we have now? Let me find out. Let me know. And welcome in, L. Lovely to be with you again this evening. And then it says here, a look at the ICE recruitment ads that draw from white nationalist ideology. America needs you now. Join ICE. Which way, American man? And then it says here, in August, DHS shared a post asking, which way, American man? A reference to the 1978 book, Which Way, Western Man, by neo-Nazi author William Gailey Simpson, which promotes racist and violent ideology. And then we have some more small letters here, so let's see. Remigration is an originally European far-right proposal of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white immigrants and their descendants, sometimes including those born in Europe, to their place of racial ancestry. It is popular, especially with the identitarian movement. Some proponents of remigration suggest excluding some persons with non-European backgrounds, such as from such a mass deportation based on varyingly defined degree of assimilation into European culture. 62 likes. There's 150 people in here. Let's get the likes up to at least 100. All right. So let me play some music while we go ahead and close out of the chat and click on the like of the video. Admin, let me know when we get to 100. Let me play some more of this old. You know what? Since they're doing some old country western, let me see if I can find some country western songs. Country western. Y'all gonna like this video, or we're gonna be playing some country westerns for y'all. So let's see what we have here.
I was walking out one evening late, the moon was rising high, headed for the riverside, around us fuss and fly.
Come on and get these lights up, y'all. Come on, I don't want to hold the video hostage, so do what you need to do.
Asked me where I'm going, said if the sun set on me there, I'd never make it home. They said don't go downtown tonight, there's trouble on the rise. The Batman in the shadows, and they're bound to take your life. If you mind to ramble, I'll tell you how I do. Keep your money in your pocket and a razor in your shoe. Silent through the creek, hounds to lose my scent. I went up a tree and I watched them turn, wondering where I went. I take a rest, I hold my breath, I let it simmer down. I climbed too high in my wandering eye, spied the lights of town. He said, don't go downtown tonight, there's trouble on the rise. The Bad men in the shadows, oh, they're bound to take your life. But if you mind to ramble still, I tell you how to do. Keep your money in your pocket, boy, and
Okay,
raise
we got 8 more to go.
shoe.
I don't know what to say. Come on, 8 more to go. Y'all playing. Y'all playing. Come on. 150 people in here. We could get 100 likes. Find them somewhere. Go sign into your other account. Come back and like it with your other account. Listen. I'll change the music.
Well, I don't go downtown.
Let me know when we get up to 100 L.
Bad men in the shadows is bound to take your life. If you mind to ramble still, I'll tell you how to do. Keep your money in your pocket and a razor in your shoe. Keep
L, where we at in terms of the light?
Pocket, son, and a razor in your shoe.
95, we got 5 more likes to go. Come on, get the likes up. I am on YouTube, but YouTube is hiding the video because of the title. And I don't blame you for not wanting to be on Facebook, because Facebook is such a toxic, dirty place right now. It's such a toxic, dirty place. Listen, these demons, who knows? They probably were playing they were probably playing Christian music. 99, okay, we got 1 like to go. If there's somebody sitting here, that does sound like some apocalyptic, that definitely does sound like some apocalyptic movie song. Oh, some people took their life back? Oh, 101, okay. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. She said the song is definitely an acquired taste. No, I feel you, but it's like, come on, when you come in, like the video so that we can be able to have the message reach and move. All right. All right. Okay, all right, here we go. Okay. All right, well, come on over to YouTube, Gracie. All right, so basically, what were we saying? Remigration. Oh, that was a Nazi term. So then The Guardian says how remigration became a buzzword for global far right. And then Homeland Security wrote remigrate. You see what I'm saying? So it's like these people are saying the quiet part for their people. Like earlier today, I put up a video, right? Now we have Black people here in the audience. My audience is primarily Black. I'm going to show you a video that I put up. And Black people, I want you to tell me what it is that I mean by this video, okay? Because there are people who are on my Facebook page who are like, what do you mean by this? Because it's a 17-second video. I think the video is very powerful, right? But there were people who were like, what do you mean? So Black people, I want you to watch this video. It's 17 seconds, and I want you to tell me from what it is that you see, what you think I mean by the video, all right? Go ahead, like the video. All right. So, here it is. All right. Trump. All right, here. Let me get the screen right. So it's like I said, it's 17 seconds, so there's not much said, but I want you to hear what it is that I'm saying, see the images that I put in there, and black people, we here. We're here. So I know that you're going to know what this video is saying, so I want you to tell me what you feel the video is saying, okay? Because there were white people on the page that were like, what does this mean? Right? So here. Okay. Didn't create America. America created Trump. Like, this is America. This is America. Don't catch you slipping up. Trump didn't create America. America created Trump. Like, this is America. This is America. Don't catch you slipping up. All right, so black people, I want you to tell me, what does this video mean to you? It's 17 seconds, but I felt it was a very powerful video. I said very little while still saying a lot. So for my people, the people who that video was intended for, you understand what it is that I'm saying. You can say in the comments what it is that I'm saying in your point of view. I can play it one more time for you so that you can see everything that's in it, because there were some people that were just scratching their heads. They were like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Someone says, what is there not to get? Listen, don't make me laugh. Is is it is it that simple for you? So why were people confused? Why were people confused? Thank you. Who is saying that it's very powerful? So I'll play it one more time for you, right? Because there's some people that's like, what does this mean? I don't understand. But the people who are meant to get it, and I'll tell you why. Hold on. Trump didn't create America. America created Trump. Like, this is America. This is America. Don't catch you slipping up. All right. All right. So they said they so so part of the reason that I'm saying that the people who this was meant for, you get it. Because when it comes to this symbology, the people that this is meant for, they get it. They understand exactly what these people are saying. They're using their language, they're using their words. And then here, this is another one here. A look at the ICE recruitment ads that draw from the white nationalist ideology. And this says, a heritage to be proud of, a homeland worth defending. American Progress, John Gast. In July, DHS posted this image of an 1872 painting glorifying Manifest Destiny, a white supremacist doctrine used to justify white settler colonialism, Native American displacement, genocide, and theft. Critics say the recruitment ad promotes white nationalism and ethnic cleansing rhetoric. Then here's some more. Protect your homeland, defend your culture. This one right here is really stark. Report all foreign invaders. Invaders? It says, help your country and yourself. Report all foreign invaders, ICE. And then it has a picture of some people in a homestead in a wagon. And of course, they're white and they got their little white baby. And the writing is too small for me to see. But hold on, I'm going to make it larger because I really want to see what it might say. It says, now life is, wait, now life in a new life in a new land. More life in a new land. Morgan whistling. I don't even know. It's too blurry. And then they said, DHS DHS espousing white nationalist and neo-Nazi coded rhetoric in ICE recruitment exposes the agency for what it really is, a white supremacist militia. All right. And so I want you to see, because remember I said the people who are meant to get it will get it, right? So I wanted to show this to you real quick. This right here. What does that say on the banner? What does it say? You all can read it. It says it right there, plain as day in English. I want you to put up a number 1 if you've heard this term being floated out there. It says America first. This is why, so remember when I told you I want to study history, right? In one of my classes last semester, the professor was going over the history in the United States, and this image came up. And I was like, what? So this is a known phrase? Put up a 1 if you've heard this phrase floated. Put a 0 if you have never heard this phrase before. Because I heard MAGA slowly changing its phrasing into America first. I've heard it myself. Okay, we got our first 1 coming in. All right. All right. All right. Does this surprise you? Does this surprise you? When I saw this, I said, oh my gosh, this is plain as day. This is right in front of our face. And the people who know these terminologies, they get it. And it's a wink to them. Just like when Trump was like, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. He was talking right to them. They knew. All right. So there's a lot of you who have heard this term being floated. If this is your first time, because I've shown this image before, but perhaps you didn't see it. If this is your if the first time that you have seen this image is on my channel, I want you to put up a 2. If the first time you saw this image is on my channel, put up a 2. If you've seen this in other places and you knew about this, put up a 3. I want to see where we're at, right? So there's a few people who have never seen that before. Okay. All right. So I just want you all to just pay attention. Are you surprised by this? Are you surprised that in 2026, America, they are now starting to use terms and ideology? And it's like this is well known to the people who have this mentality. Like oh wow, okay, so there's some people, this is the first time that they're seeing it on my channel. Okay. And then there's one person that saw it someplace else. Okay, there's a few people who've seen it someplace else. And other people, this is their first time seeing it on my, the first time they've seen it is on my channel. So yeah, this is what we're dealing with. And so for those of you who said that whoever doesn't know that is just being willfully ignorant, I want to show you a video I came across earlier today, because this woman was talking about the epiphany she had, and I was waiting and waiting in the video for the epiphany. I was waiting because she was like, she had an epiphany. This thing was so profound that she had heard. And so I'm going to play this video so that we can review it together, because I want you to see what it is that we're dealing with, right? I want you to see what we're dealing with. And this woman, she means extremely well. Her page is The Civic Sage. It looks like she doesn't have that many subscribers. 7,000 subscribers. So this came across my time feed because today I put up a video. This is the video, not this video. Well, I put up this video today, but you can go over to the clips page to see the videos that I have put up right here. So because I feel that white people, so the video that I put up earlier today has now brought new people onto my timeline. So look, this is what I want you to hear. It's a quick video, 35 seconds. I feel that white people really honestly, in terms of justice, cannot be trusted. I don't believe that they can be trusted. You know why? Because I feel like they just want the pressure to go down. They want things to go back to normal, and what's normal is your murder on Front Street. They want this to quiet down. It shouldn't have been a good white woman who had children. Oh, but she was a lesbian, and she looked a little bulldaggerish. She was an immigrant lover, an N-word lover, so her life didn't really matter. I feel that white people really honestly, in terms of justice, cannot be trusted. I don't believe that they can be trusted. You know why? Because I feel like they just want the pressure to go down. They want things to go back to normal, and what's normal is your murder on Front Street. They want this to quiet down. It shouldn't have been a good white woman who had children. Oh, but she was a lesbian, and she looked a little bulldaggerish. She was an immigrant lover, an N-word lover, so her life didn't really matter. I feel that white people really honestly, and I'm being completely honest, I really honestly don't feel that they can be trusted. Honestly, I don't. Because I'm going to play this video for you so that you can hear for yourself where this woman's mind is in terms of what her epiphany is. So let's take a listen real quick.
I want to credit Heather McGhee for giving me this worldview that I'm going to talk about. I read the chapter in her book about this maybe 7 times before I actually could understand it and internalize it. And she talks about how America, white people in particular, have a zero-sum game mentality. We think that if someone is getting something, we're losing it. We don't think that we can all benefit together. And she says the reason for that is colonization, colonialism, whatever word you want to use, imperialism. It is because in America, we established a racial hierarchy in order to exploit labor and land. You come to a new land and it is inhabited by brown people. In order to take that land, you have to justify doing so. How do you do it? Well, brown people aren't as good as white people. You need to work that land and make a profit. So you enslave black people. How do you do that? You establish a racial hierarchy and say black people are less good and important than white people, so they deserve to be enslaved. So our racial hierarchy allowed our ancestors to exploit Native Americans and African Americans. It goes further than that, though. It also enabled a bunch of poor people from Europe to come here and have a new life and feel superior to the brown and black folks who were already here. So that zero-sum mentality was tied into our colonization. We didn't just share the land, we forced Native Americans onto reservations. If we took their land, they lost it. So we established that only one side wins in America. Same thing with black people. Heaven forbid we, free them and pay them a good wage. No, instead they're enslaved and we get all of the benefits. So in America, we established that if we are winning, we are taking something from someone else and they are losing. And historically, that has been people of color. We took the Native Americans' land, we took Black people's freedom. And so that zero-sum game mentality is America. That mentality is in our heads still. It's hard not to feel that way. When we have underfunded schools, it's hard for me not to get annoyed when I see well-funded schools. Like, they're funded, so I'm not, rather than the fact that the GOP is starving all of our schools and we should all be mad. Things like that. But I had a thought today about this. Right now, white supremacy is trying to bring back that racial hierarchy that was slowly being pushed down. There was not equality yet, but DEI initiatives, things like that, were finally leveling the playing field a little bit, destroying the racial hierarchy that our ancestors put in place in order to profit off of the Americas. Okay? What happens when that racial hierarchy is gone? Suddenly, mediocre white people no longer get to feel superior. Instead, they're mad. And I think this is the key that the ruling class, the elites, the deep, I don't know, whatever we want to call them, the thing they're missing. This is what my epiphany was. That system worked because people's needs were still kind of met. The white poor people might have been poor, but they were taken care of and they got to feel superior to the brown people. Now, if brown and Black people are brought up to the same level as white people, suddenly those poor white people can't feel superior anymore, and they are hurting financially. They are unable to buy houses. They are unable to get good jobs. So suddenly, they are furious. And that is the powder keg we're in today. I think the ruling elite,
I feel like I need to pause because there are so many comments that are coming in that I wanted to respond to. So this woman, she means so well, and I'm listening to her and I'm like, so why do you think we're on this land? Like, discovered America and there were people already here. It's like you have to think that what it is that you're doing, that what it is that you have is superior to those people that are already there. They have to be dehumanized and pushed down below you in order for you to feel that what they have you deserve. I mean, somebody said that that we should go to Africa, etc. Even listen, if all Black people listen, first of all, we got the juice. We are the juice. For some reason, these people have not been able to tap into their creativity, and we are the juice. Like, we are the tastemakers, the change agents. We are the creativity. We are the brains. We are the brawn. We are the backbone of this country. If we left, they would miss us and still come to find us. Number one, Africa's land is so rich in natural resources. When I used to have TKO skin, I had to go through a certifying agency to be able to certify the shea butter because the land is so rich in minerals and metals that I had to have the shea butter certified. Otherwise, it would have heavy metals in there like copper and all this other stuff, which would be absorbed through the skin, etc. So the shea butter that I was selling was really high quality because in Africa, the land is so rich with minerals, metals, or it's just rich. And so these people would destroy their land, mine it and rape it to the gods. And then they would go to other people's land to mine theirs and rape theirs too. Because at the end of the day, if Venezuela was filled with white Anglo-Saxon people, they would not have invaded Venezuela. They would not have just kidnapped the first of all, they did a little soft launch by striking those boats to see if people would be up in arms. It's like a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Any woman who has been sexually assaulted on a date rape knows. So it's no wonder we have a rapist in office, and well, he's an alleged rapist and he is a convicted sexual offender, right? Sexual assault, I believe it is his charge. Any woman who has ever been date raped, you know that that's how they do it. They push a little boundary here, push a little boundary there. They spill water on your clothes. Oh, well, just put those in my dryer. Now you're partially dressed. Oh, I forgot this. Would you come up to my apartment real quick? Oh, let me help you with your groceries. I'll help you inside. This is too heavy for you to carry. They push these boundaries little by little by little to see whether or not they can get an inch, so that eventually 1 inch leads up to a mile, right? So nonetheless, even if we left, they would still come get us. Somebody said that if America, somebody else commented, if America was fascist, that I wouldn't be able to speak my mind on the computer. Haven't you heard? Haven't you heard? Trump is looking to deport people who have disagreed with him. You know, maybe I need to find that video. Maybe I need to find that video because I saw it earlier today. I'm not sure if I saved it though, because there's so much stuff. It's like, we can't watch everything. You know what I mean? He's looking to deport people who disagree with him. And this is, it's like the canary in the coal mine. Wake up. Wake up. It's like, I don't want to be screaming and cursing in every video. It's like, wake up and see what's before you. Let me see if I can find the video where he's talking about, oh, I did not save it. Or they deleted it because that's how they do. Damn. Because you know what? It's like there's so much stuff coming in. I didn't save the video. I don't know how. Let me see if I can find it by Trump deport Americans who disagree. It's like I need you to go into your ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT what fascism is and how do we know whether or not fascism is in America. Go ask Gemini, ask any AI, and then go to the library and pick up a book on fascism and read it. It's like I don't understand what the malfunction is. Let's take a listen to this.
I've seen nobody in media talk about this, but after J.D. Vance said that ICE is going to start going door to door, Donald Trump went on record to say that the plan now is to go after U.S. citizens who oppose his election and his administration and deport them from this country violently if we have to.
I'd like to say, you know, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time, people that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them, people that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, you know, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York, and they're not accidents.
As we've repeatedly said, fascism doesn't just stop with the initial group that it targets. it metastasizes like a cancer and takes out anyone who doesn't pay homage to the dear leader. In this case, Donald Trump is making clear that anyone who opposes him is going to...
His name is Qasim Rashid. You can see him on TikTok. I don't really have that much time, so I want to make sure that I get through as much as I can while we're live. But so Donald Trump is looking to deport people who were born here. This is what I'm saying. It happened slowly and it's happening now. So you know what I want you to do? This is the assignment I'm going to give you. I want you to go to your favorite AI, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini, and I want you to compare. Say, please compare the United States to 1935 Germany, right? And it's going to tell you, oh no, they were in a different because they had actually overthrown and they had gone into a one-party system, and they had done a bunch of different things by 1935. But here's the kicker that I want you to do. I want you to say, compare the United States in 2026 to 1930 Germany, to 1931 Germany. Do that and see what the AI tells you when it compares historical texts to where it is that we are now. And what's happening is moving rapidly. I'm doing this video because I want to show you three things. One of the things that I want to show you is that inside of our government, it has been infiltrated. It's been infiltrated by people who are speaking dog whistles to us. Like, we can't hear it, but a dog whistle means that the dog can hear the whistle because of the frequency that the whistle is blowing at. So that's number one. I want you to realize that the government has already been infiltrated to people who are already, as we speak, speaking and pushing Nazi adjacent propaganda. So that's number one. Number two that I want you to realize is this right here. This very well-meaning, she looks like a nice woman. She sounds like a nice woman. And she is doing the work. She's begun to do the work. She said she had to read these pages 7 times to understand the zero-sum gain. How these people have been oppressing others for hundreds of years, because if someone is standing on their knees, then you look tall. I want you to understand that there's a part in white people's minds that feels that the way that we've been living is the natural order of things. Well, of course, white men make up 30% of the population, but 99% of certain major positions. Of course. Why not? I had somebody tell me that the NBA needs DEI because it's majority black men. And they're like, basically, the best person for the job is getting the job. That's why athletics is so filled with black people. When no. You got to go back to Germany, baby. You got to go back to Germany. So you see, when Hitler, listen, this is part of the reason why I want to study history, so that I can teach you history, right? When Hitler wanted to learn how to oppress the Jews and get it done systemically, where did he go? For those of you who know, just shout out your answer in the comments. When Hitler wanted to know how to successfully implement the oppression of the Jews, where did he go and why? Some of you know the answer. I'm going to wait for the first person in the comments to say it before I say it. There's a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to give you all a few moments to hear it. And then come with it. And I got to get off of here soon because I'm doing my hot yoga at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I need to wake up at 4 a.m. So I really wanted to get in bed by 9, but I wanted to do this broadcast real quick. It's taking a little longer than okay. Shout out to Cesar Dezel, it looks like. Yes. Shout out to Joanne. Yes. Shout out to Hylith. Look, my eyes are blurry. I can't see can't see. But yes, they came to the US of mother effing A, y'all. They came here to find out how the people in power had oppressed the blacks, the browns, the yellows, and the reds, but primarily how they have kept black people down. Hitler came to the United States to be under the tutelage of the racists here. So, remember I told that story, Master Race My Ass in the hot tub, right? If you all don't remember the story, I would love to play it for you all, but I feel like, you know what? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick, just real quick. Real quick. I'm going to pull it up. Real quick. Let me see. Control, find, master. All right. Here we go. All right. All right. Here. Okay. All right. Here. All right. Here. Let me tell the story real quick. Here. Here. Okay. This is going to be a quick story, but hear me out. I remember when I was living in my car, I was on an RV park and I was in the pool, and this white man was in the pool sweating. The man was frying and drying out, and he kept turning himself over and over in the water. He was shivering, boils and blisters busting up on his skin. And the man saw me sitting there laying and basking in the sun. And he said, "Master, race my ass." And I said, "What's that you said?" I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Master, race my ass." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I didn't understand what he was talking about. He was talking about some sort of German philosophy of the Aryans and how the Germans had convinced these people with recessive DNA that they were better because of their recessiveness. And I didn't even know that that was a damn thing. I didn't. And that man burning red in the sun as I'm sitting there languishing, lavishing in the sun, absorbing it, becoming as dark as I can. No need to flip over. No need to hide in the shade. Your girl was sitting there absorbing it all, letting my melanocytes just absorb and become larger from that vitamin D coming from GOD or GODDESS. And he said, I'll never forget it. He said, "Master, race my ass." And he was like splashing the water, trying to cool himself off. And he admitted to me how he could not stand the sun. And then he had to get out and begin to run. I said, "Oh, I don't know what's happening to son. Oh, I don't know what's happening to him." But I stayed out there because wasn't nothing happening to me. Listen, that man was baking. He was roasting in the sun. He was red and inflamed. I don't know what happened to him the next day because I heard it gets worse the next day. But I said, "Oh, Master, race your ass, you right, because you sat up there and you believed a lie. You believed the comfort of white supremacy, helping you think that there was something inherently better about you to have been bestowed with recessive genes." Like, child, listen. So that video is called "Today I Lost a Lot of Respect for White People," or "I Lost Respect for White People." So you can go and watch that video. It's on my page, the whole thing, right? It's a 30-minute video and it's very profound. So Hitler had these people convinced that they were the master race, right? And he wanted to show the world, the superiority of the Anglo genes, right? He wanted to show the world at the Olympics on full display how they beat these black people. Because from what it is that I recall, the Olympics were segregated. Don't quote me on that, but from what it is that I recall, the Olympics were segregated, but Hitler wanted the African in America, the American African, to be in the Olympics so that the world stage can see them smoke these black people with their superior Aryan genes. And you know what happened? Listen, I'm not the oldest person here. Because you know what? Somebody wrote to me on my video earlier today and was like, you didn't make a video when Rodney King was beat up. I said, how old do you think I am? Listen, how old do you think I am? The hell? So nonetheless, I'm not the oldest person here. So maybe there's some people whose parents might have told them the story. Maybe some people who may have heard it themselves, but you would be about 90 years old now or something, right? I don't know. But nonetheless, I believe his name was Jesse Owens, I believe. And when he got on that field, the ancestors took a hold of his feet. Now you hear me. When he got onto that field, he smoked them. And this can't be right. This can't be right. No, right? And it happened again and again. It happened so much. Hitler's mustache it began to twist around. It almost fell off his face. He was so angry, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it, right? And so you all talking about, I said, what the H? So nonetheless, right? It was from then that now they were like, they had to start coming up with excuses. They started pulling out their protractors and they started saying, oh, well, you know, it's the Negro because he's more close to animals. So that's why he has the animalistic muscle. And then the rumor had started. But it really was none of that. It's really that internal determination and grit. When I start cursing out white people and I talk about how weak and lazy they've become, whiteness has made them weak. Because we already know we work how many times as hard? All my people in the audience, you're right here with me. How many times as hard do we work? I'll let you put it in the comments and I'll give the first person who says it a shout out. How many times as hard do we work? Because we know about our work ethic. They called us lazy, but we worked till our limbs nearly came off, right? I talked about that in one of my shorts. While we're waiting for the answer, don't make me play the short now. Don't make me play the short. Let me see, which short did I put that in? Did I put that in this one here? Did I put it in here? Let me see. All right, twice as hard. Shout out to Purify, your girl. Twice as hard. And this is why they're failing. Because they have created a group of people that to get half as much, we've had to work twice as hard. So when this woman starts talking about the fields were becoming more equitable, lady, please. This is why when Charlie Kirk calls Joy Ann Reid, Sheila Jackson Lee, and Ketanji Brown Jackson, when he calls them DEI hires, meanwhile he dropped out of a junior college, right? Meanwhile, he dropped out of community college, y'all. Let me finish playing this woman's video. Let me see if I could find this. I'm very proud of these shorts I have been making. Y'all, I really am. It's not in this video. Where is it? Let's see. All right, here it's in. Joy DeGruy said that the way that they work. Here, it's in this video. Let me start at the beginning and see if I could get this up on the screen for you all so that you all can see, because I thought that this was an important video. Let's see if it will. Oh, it's not going to thing. Let me just play it from here. Okay, here. No, what have these people been doing for all
hold
of
on,
these
hold on, hold on,
years
hold on,
when
Tonya.
Black people have.
Hold on, Tonya. You're going too fast, girl. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down, girl. Slow down.
All right, here we go. All right. Oops. I've lost a lot of respect for white America today. They don't care, and they never have cared. And I want to know, what have these people been doing for all of these years when Black people have been out there on the front line trying to make change? Like, they don't care and don't give a damn about an equitable, free country for all. All they cared about was their own comfort so that they could sit up on the damn porch drinking mint juleps while you out there toiling. Joy DeGruy said that the way that they worked the African, that their bodies would only last for 7 years.
Muscle actually detached itself from the bone as a result of exertion and not injury.
And that in the grave, when they dug up the bodies, because you know they turned so many burial grounds into prime property and real estate, when they dug the bodies and the archaeologists, when they looked at the bodies, the muscles were torn from the bones, the cartilage disjointed. They worked so hard that their limbs came undone. And you were all right with that as long as you could have on your big damn pretty frock, going to your cotillions and drinking mint julep on the backs of Black people. And even to this motherfucking day, you will talk about how we don't deserve reparations and we built this country. We built this bitch. And it is all right for you to have the upper hand and the upper leg as long as there's somebody underneath you for you to throw your fucking heels up onto. Nah. Yeah, you know, I know that I'm most likely going to have to leave this country, honestly, because my voice is too powerful, that even me, though those words came from my being, when I watch it, it stirs my spirit. There's something about the resonance of my voice and the power behind it that moves people. And I know I'm going to have to leave because I know that they target people like me. Because there's a gift. I don't want to call it a gift because I'm doing a bit much with all of that. But there's something about me that even when I watch my own words speak, that it doesn't feel like me who's saying it. It feels like it comes through me. And even just watching that, I feel ready to stand up. And people like me who can move people. If you've ever felt moved by my words, throw up a 5, put a hand emoji in the air. There's just something about it. I can't explain it. But people like me are a threat to the establishment. And I know that once I become armed with even more information, I know that I know they're not going to be happy with me. So that person who's like, you wouldn't be able to speak your mind. You think we're always going to be able to speak our mind? You think we're always going to be able to talk up? It inches in slowly on us like the frog in boiling water. Come on. Let me just finish up this video because it's a gift and a curse. I got 2 hands in the air, 55, y'all. A gift of gab, so to speak. I don't know, the gab. Okay, I see the hands throwing up. All right, y'all, raise the roof. All right, let's get back to this woman here. I just want to get through her video because she had these epiphanies, and I'm like, if this woman who is doing the work is just now figuring this out, that means the average white American is just see no evil, hear no evil. You know what I mean? Thank you. I appreciate you all voting. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Call them the Dark Lords. I think that's the best term. They are trying to put that racial hierarchy back into place because they need all of the mediocre white people to calm the fuck down and to be happy. And they don't have that now because they no longer have their superior racial structure and they are no longer supported by a strong middle class, thanks to the Dark Lords. But the Dark Lords don't want that. The Dark Lords have made sure that these poor people are poorly educated, so they're not quite smart enough to put all of this together, and they are continuing to propagandize them and lie to them, and trying to reestablish the racial hierarchy system so that they can keep plundering our country and keep us divided. The Dark Lords, from the beginning of America, have always been worried that all the poor people would band together against them and demand that we get a bigger share of the pie. As long as we keep fighting each other, they're gonna keep eating the whole goddamn thing. The fact that MAGA isn't furious that Peter Thiel and Elon Musk are two immigrants who take billions of dollars from our government and have decided that they don't like American democracy and they're going to blow it up. The fact that MAGA isn't pissed about that is not shocking, I guess, because they're pretty stupid, but shocking, right? Like, we've got to change the messaging and be as ugly as them. Because I didn't say, I mean, what I said was kind of ugly, but it's an inconvenient truth. They grew up in South Africa apartheid. They're horrible men. And they have so much power in our country. And I'm sorry, if they hate America so much, they need to leave. They don't need to destroy the system. They need to leave. But I always recommend this book. It's incredible. And just that framing has been mind-blowing to me. Understanding that when you have an entire nation that was a colony and had to justify what it did, it put a racial hierarchy in place. You try to remove the racial hierarchy and you still have inequality. It is a mess. A mess. We need to not have the racial hierarchy, and we need to have equality. Not communism, not socialism. You can still be richer than other people. But this extreme divide that we have, where the CEOs get paid 300 times what their lowest worker makes, no. No more of that.
Oh my goodness. The wild thing about this is that her video has 143,000 views. And a lot of you have said that you've seen her video for the first time on your feed today. I mean, since she's out there doing the work, if she sees this video, please read Sylvia Federici's work. I see that you're doing the work. I just want to tell you that at no point in America's 250-year history have there ever been any remote close semblance to equity at all. And this, whatever feeling it is that you have against socialism, a lot of this is indoctrination from the people who want you to be in a capitalistic society and to hold dear the values of that capitalistic society. And yes, unfortunately, this system does need to be torn down, because there's no way that we can really have true equity under the Constitution as it is currently written. Like, this Constitution needs to be rewritten and redone. The founding fathers were racist slaveholders who did not like or consider Black people to be human. And the Constitution, as it was created and as it still stands, reflects that. We have never cleansed this country of its racist roots, and the poison of white supremacy that is killing the very inhabitants of it. I wonder what she's going to think when she finally wakes up to the fact that it's not because we're black. Blackness was a convenient way for them to differentiate the indentured servant from the forever chattel slave. But it was never about black people. It was always about capitalism, always. As a matter of fact, as one of my professors put it, capitalism, let me go back again. As one of my professors put it, slavery is the logical conclusion of capitalism. It's the logical conclusion. Slavery is capitalism at its best, not at its worst, at its best. That's why that's why workers get paid so little, because if they could get the labor for free, they would enslave them again. And from what it is that I'm hearing about what ICE is doing, I saw a video today of an ICE agent taking a handcuffed migrant woman into a porta potty and then going in after her while the other ICE agent stood look outside waiting in the car. Why does a male agent need to go into a porta potty with a handcuffed woman? Did I save the video? Let me see if I can play that, if I could find it for you. Let's see. Give me just 1 second. Let me do a quick search. ICE bathroom woman. Let me see if I can find it. No, it has ICE. Oh, here. The TikTok search function is very powerful. I want you all to just look at this video real quick. This says that it happened Camden Avenue, Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. Look. She's handcuffed. You see her waddling to the bathroom. She goes to open the door. The ICE agent slips. And then look, he gets up and then he goes into the bathroom with her while there's another agent sitting out in the car. Why does he need to go into the bathroom with her? Like, okay, so she has to use the bathroom. Like, let's say they believe that she was going to get a weapon or retrieve or do whatever, right? Why does he need to go in there and close the door? Like, all right, leave the door open then, turn your back, stand to the side, whatever. We're the female agents, right? But to go in there behind her and then close the door? There's barely enough room in there for one person. What happened in there? So they are, and this woman is powerless. This woman is powerless. She's handcuffed and she's vulnerable. And there's an armed man who we saw just killed a woman for not doing exactly as he said. Listen. Let's go ahead and let's start getting out of here. I want you to type SLL and let me get your self-love lesson from today's video. I'm going to check the apples because fascism is here. Go ahead and like the video before you leave out, because there's 250 people here, and I want you all to like the video because it does work, it does help. So like I was saying, that woman, she got 147,000 views on her video. She has 7,000 subscribers, and it's like they don't really see how they get favored and they get pushed. I have 200,000 subscribers. My videos get 2,000 views. And so you all liking the videos have gotten my videos up to about 3,000 views. But there's still a ways to go. So go ahead and like the video. What was I going? Oh, I was going to go check the apples. Go ahead and like the video. Make sure that you're subscribed, because talking about these topics, there are 2 apples that have come in. Let me read the apples, right? Someone is saying the system does need to be destroyed because it does not render equality. SOS is more like it. I think it's called the SS, isn't it? It breaks my heart to see how many women and vulnerable people. Yeah. 168 likes. Let's get them up to 200. We can get the likes up to 200. Please go ahead and like the video. So we have $5 that has come in from Lonnie Ann. She says, think we outnumber them, breeding farms, import us, etc. Hold on, let me go to the other one. Want to know your thoughts on census true demographic. You know what? I think that there's a lot of places in rural America that are majority white. I would love to think that we are more than 14% of the population. I would love to think that, but I don't know. Look at these elections. I don't know. I thought that the numbers were not correct before, but who knows? Because I'm in a place like New York, and then I'll be moving to Connecticut, and then I'll be going overseas after grad school. But I don't know. I don't know how many people. I would hope that the census would be telling the truth. But even at the small number that we're at, they're still panicking about being quote unquote replaced. Like there's a sickness that has been infected into these people. All right. So let's start talking about our self-love lesson, right? My self-love lesson. Okay. I will have awareness of my surroundings. Okay. My self-love lesson, I have to think of my self-love lesson. So you all come get your self-love lessons together. I'm going to put on a little bit of music. I'll find some better music since, since we are doing all right. I heard the body language guy went on a MAGA rant. Oh, I had to curse out the body language guy. He's been paid off. He's not the same person that he was a few years ago. They got to him. He's been disrespecting Michelle Obama and all types of stuff. He's gone off the deep end, and he can stay there with it. He's lost me as a subscriber. I've even had to block him so that it doesn't show up on my page. So yeah, donezo. All right, let's see.
You got me feeling good.
All right, come on, let's see your self-love lesson. My self-love lesson is type SLL.
Baby, hold me tight. Let me trace your light.
So my self-love lesson from today's video is, my self-love lesson is to constantly check the temperature so that I know when it's time to put on a coat, so that I know when it's time to go indoors, and that I know when it's time to leave, if you got what it is that I'm saying. My self-love lesson is to continue to check the temperature. And right now, the temperature is looking very cold, very icy in America. And part of the reason, so there's 3 things that I wanted you all to take away from today's video, right? Number 1, the dog whistle. Number 2, so the dog whistle, that they are saying messages that are meant for a certain demographic, and they know what those messages are. Number 2, there are well-meaning white people out there that just really don't get it. And some are trying, but the vast majority are not. They are living in their delusion, which brings me to the 3rd thing, which is, I want you to think about when it comes time for a revolution, how many of the people here in this country are informed enough to really, 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 really be about that life? Like, we got a woman who means so well, thinking that we had equality here for a little while, and then they just took it away. 90% of the CEOs are white men, and the vast majority of people who benefited from DEI were white women, but she thought we had equality because it's just, I just want you all to remember all of that. SLL, keep the cookout hot, and please, sister, check your box. Wait, what box are we talking about? Because, you know, box can mean many different things to different people. It can mean different things to different people, because, you know what I'm saying? Listen, check your box. That sounds a little risque. I'll check my email inbox. I'll check that real quick. But yeah, this is where it is that we are as a society, and I just don't know whether or not the people here, I just checked my inbox. I don't see anything in there. So which box you talking about, baby? Oh, I do see something here. Let's see. Beyonce is dissing MAGA. Let's take a look and see. Let's take a look and see. Let me pause this music real quick. Well, you know, Nicki Minaj is about that MAGA life now. You know, she's all about that MAGA. Talking about Donald Trump is handsome and all this other mess. I said, what? I said, she's been compromised. She's been compromised. Let's see what we have here. Oh, is Beyonce on a stage? And my concern is that the video is going to get like a copyright thing. Let me see. I'll try playing it, and I hope that it does. Because, you know, Beyonce does not play about her intellectual property. You know? Let's see. All right, so there's some copyrighted music there. I don't know what this is, so we have to, I don't know what this is. It looks like there's music there, and they don't play those games. I'm looking, and so I'll probably have to check this on my own, because I don't want this video to have copyright issues. All right, so listen, on that note, I will see you all in the next video. My self-love lesson is to, like I told you all, to check the temperature and continue to check the temperature, because you just never know nowadays. So I will see you all in the next video. All right, go out there and love one another, and most importantly, love yourself. I apologize for not staying longer to get the rest of the self-love lessons, but I got to get to bed so that I'll be able to get up early in the morning. All right, see you all later. Oh, there's no lights to turn off, so I'll see you all.
Watch you sing in church on a Sunday morning. Yeah. Finding your strength in the waiting. Been fighting, girl, and you're overcoming. You're overcoming.